Hello ladies and gentlemen, and those of you who are both or neither, welcome. At the very top of this video I just want to apologise for my voice. I'm still not well after all this time, but I want to talk about something really big, something really special that's just been announced. So it all started a few days ago when Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium both posted images of their classic albums, The Poison and Ascendancy respectively, on all their social media. Everything was a bit of a blackout, nobody knew what was going on. Although people kind of had a bit of a clue something might be coming. Then they announced that they were both going to be doing a live stream at the exact same time. So people put two and two together and knew that this was some kind of collaborative project. But was it going to be a new song together? Was it going to be a tour? What was going on? So after a bit of an introduction, both bands came on to sit down and announce that they are actually touring together, as most people predicted, on the Poisoned Ascendancy tour starting in January 2025. To celebrate both of the 20th anniversaries of Trivium's Ascendancy and Bullet for My Valentine's debut, The Poison. And this isn't just a kind of, they might throw a few songs in off that album on a normal set list. Both of those albums are being played in full. So what else do we know? Well, during the live stream, which to be honest was a little bit self-indulgent, I think, gathering all the magazine people together and doing a bit of a Q&A. And yeah, like, it's a big thing, they want to make a big announcement, but you know, all the questions seem to be was like, are you excited for the, like, of course they're excited. Of course, you know, it's the biggest metal tour to come to the UK at least in years. Of course, they're both excited. And I get that it's trying to hype up the tour, hype up the announcement and everything, but it didn't really need that, but whatever. So we got confirmation from Matt Tuck from Bullet for My Valentine that The Poison was actually written and the track list was organised so that it flows really well when it's played in full. So when you listen to that album start to finish, you get a sense of progression and a sense of, you know, you're listening to a complete work. So they're going to be playing the whole thing start to finish in that order. But what was interesting is Matt Heafy from Trivium said that they might mix it up a little bit. Like, they weren't really too sure what order they want to play it in. And obviously, like, you want to put the biggest songs at the end of a set, so, you know, it end on a big bang. But Ascendancy is such a great album start to finish anyway that you can, it doesn't matter whether they finish with Pull Harder or not. You know, everyone is going to be hyped for the entirety of that set anyway. But hearing the album from start to finish, as you would it listening to the CD for the first time, would still be really special. But I'm not complaining either way. You know, both of those albums were two of the first metal albums that I ever bought. Two of the most formative pieces of music for me in terms of finding my music taste, finding a group of friends, finding out who I was basically at that age. And this t-shirt, the Ascendancy t-shirt, which is going to be 20 years old next year, was probably one of the first pieces of band merch that I ever bought with my own money. And I made friends because of listening to, you know, playing Tears Don't Fall off someone's shitty Sony Ericsson phone in a park and all having a bit of a mosh pit to it around a tree or something. That's the kind of stuff that makes that time in your life so special. And for those two albums to have come out in the same year and be a part of that era, be part of that culture at that time, to celebrate them together is just incredibly special. But it does make me feel really old getting to the 20th anniversary of both those albums. That's like most of my life. I was 13 when they came out, and now I'm kind of an adult. All those songs that, you know, defined our childhoods, for me at least, you know, Hand of Blood, Tears Don't Fall, Room 409, all these things I hate, all, you know, and that's just from Bullet. And then Pull Harder, Gunshot, Dying in Your Arms, Rain, like Light to Flies, as well as some of those deep cuts as well that, you know, even if you've been following these bands for those 20 years, you might never have seen those songs live before, and chances are you'll never get to see them again. So for now, we only know the UK dates. They were the only things that got announced in the live stream, although they did confirm there'll be a full world tour. They'll be going to every single continent except Antarctica. And Matt Heafy made a special point of mentioning that they will be coming to Brazil. Tickets go on sale on the morning of Wednesday the 28th of February if you're on O2 Priority. And if you're just general sale, then it's Friday the 1st of March. They're doing 5 shows in the UK. They're starting off with Cardiff, then going to Glasgow, Manchester, Birmingham, and then finishing off at the O2 in London, which both bands are really excited by because obviously it's, you know, probably one of the most famous venues in the country. It's a venue that has eluded both bands for so many years, and to see both of those bands take that step up onto that level is just, you know, having followed both of those bands for so long, it's really it's really exciting to see that kind of era of music grow to those levels, because you know, you talk about this is something that's been going on for a while now, talking about who's the new blood, who carries the torch once the Maidens have gone and the Metallicas have gone. And you know, obviously we're talking about download headliners and stuff like that. And it's not like both of these bands haven't played arena tours in the past, because I think Bullet for My Valentine played an arena tour in like 2010, 2011, supported by Bring Me the Horizon and Atreyu. And Trivium played as part of the Black Crusade tour with Machine Head, which was actually my first ever gig all the way back in 2007. And every single band on that lineup crushed it. It was Machine Head and Trivium sort of co-headlining, Dragon Force, Arch Enemy, and Shadows Fall. And speaking of other bands and co-headline tours, this is a co-headline tour, right? So the assumption is that they'll switch places at some point. So one band will headline one night, one band will headline the other night. But I honestly don't know who I'd rather see headline, to be honest. Like, if you think about if they're going to play the albums in full, do you want to end with The End by Bullet for My Valentine? That might be a nice way to round out the night. Or should Trivium headline, because they're arguably the heavier band out of the two of them? And the best part about that is that either band could be the headliner. That's the quality of the show that this is going to be. And you talk about, you know, value for money and the price of gigs going up and things like that. Like, this is value for money. This is 2 headline shows. But will there be any support acts? Nothing's been confirmed as of yet. But every co-headline tour I've seen from bands, you know, be it from the Black Crusade to when Avenged Sevenfold did that co-headline tour with Stone Sour in 2010, they were supported by Hell Yeah. So it seems that, like, if 2 big bands want to do a co-headline tour, there will always be like a 3rd or 4th band, just to, you know, because if you go straight into, say, Bullet are on first, you don't want to go straight into like what is arguably a headline set. You know, you want to build up something first. So maybe like a band like Malevolence or While She Sleeps or Cancer Bats or someone like that, someone, you know, that they're friends with as well. A band like that would be a really good opportunity for a band like that to be featured on such a massive monumental tour, where they can be pushed up as well. I think that'd be really cool. And it's not just the fact that these are 2 big bands that could easily headline an arena show on their own, or headline like a medium festival like Bloodstock, Trivium have done, and Bullet for Valentine obviously headlined 2000 Trees last year. That's the kind of quality of band, you know, these are festival headline bands. It's not just that it's that quality, it's that they're playing these classic albums, these really special albums for so many people in their entirety. And a lot of bands are doing that now as well. There's a tour that's similar to this in America that's Mastodon and Lamb of God, playing 2 of their classic albums. I forget which ones. But that, again, that's a massive tour. Obviously, you've got When We Were Young Festival, which we're going to later this year, where every band apart from 1 or 2 is playing an album in full as part of their set. You've got Green Day recently announcing they're going to be playing American Idiot and Dookie in full when they tour the UK later this year. It's something that more and more bands are starting to do. And as much as I love that, it's really interesting to look into why bands are doing that. But we're gonna cover that in a future video, because it's more than just, well, we think it's more than just financial reasons. There's definitely more to it than that. But we'll talk about that in a future video. This really does feel like a classic metal tour with a name, you know, like the Black Crusade or the Unholy Alliance that Slayer used to do, Defenders of the Faith. And hopefully the Poisoned Ascendancy can become one of those legendary metal events that we look back on in years to come. So are you excited for this tour? Are you going to try and get tickets next week? If you are planning on going, who do you think you'd rather see headline the show that you're going to? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you there.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see something really similar to that, you can click up here and watch that. And if you want to see something that's absolutely not that, completely different to that, click up here and watch that. And you should just subscribe to us here. Thank you.